Hey, surviving on sutures. This video was supposed to be a straightforward tutorial on ligation and excision. However, very quickly, it degraded into a video where everything went wrong. I started by placing a proximal clamp, followed by a distal clamp, in this case, a mosquito artery. And just as I was placing that, I felt a rush of water. Before my mind could comprehend what had gone wrong, my body reacted. Immediately, I used my fingers to place pressure on the defect to try to stop the leak. I assessed the leak and decided it was small. I take a mosquito artery and try to clamp it. That was unsuccessful. So this video will now be a walkthrough of surgical decision making and complication management. While watching this video, I want you to think, what would you have done? I grabbed the defect with my forceps and I tried to clamp with my mosquito artery again. As I was doing that, the glove ripped. Immediately I reacted, pressure with my hand, stopped the leak. I knew at that moment it was time to clamp proximally. So I used my mosquito artery and I clamped very proximally. This stopped the leak. I passed some suture material and threw some ligating knots. You will find that I always use the same cardinal rules whenever dealing with a complication or whenever something goes off plan. Assess, control, stabilize, succeed. I'm now confident that the ligation is secure and I go to unclamp my mosquito artery. When I did that, I noticed that there is a leak on the posterior aspect. I assess quickly and determine that it is not insignificant. Immediately I control by clamping the mosquito artery. Stabilized, I now move my attention to remove the structure that has been ligated. This way I have a cleaner field. I assess the defect. I clamp it with a straight artery. And then I utilize the mosquito artery to clamp distally to the tips. This way I ensure that I have enclosed the entirety of the defect. I assess for proximity to nearby structures. Then I pass the suture material behind the mosquito, taking advantage of the curved tip in order to ensure that I am away from any nearby structures. I throw some ligating knots. This video was completely unplanned. But the fact that it was spontaneous and it happened in such a controlled area reminded me of the fragility of surgery sometimes. In real surgery we often do see complications and we are forced to manage them. And this requires abiding by a structure, an algorithm if you will. In my case, I prefer assess, control, stabilize, succeed. If you are able to do all those, then you will be fine. But it is important to keep in mind that complications happen completely unexpectedly. Even in such a controlled space, where this was a glove filled with water on my kitchen countertop, and I had planned meticulously each step to make a tutorial video. At this point, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe. Also comment and tell me down below what would you have done in this situation.